everyone, and welcome to Sort of My Podcast. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human. Thank you very much for joining me on episode 74. First, we're going to get things started out with shout-out. Shout-out to Kelly Tolson, who won our Lexington Comic and Toy Convention ticket giveaway on the Sort of My Comics Facebook page. Can't wait to see you at the con, man. And a little shout-out DLC goes to Alpha Spectre, Mr. James Odell, for fronting the prize on this one. You can expect another giveaway from us coming soon. We are adding another code onto our Spider-Man Homecoming digital giveaway, and then we've got another digital giveaway coming after that. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and talk some trailers. Guys, there were so many trailers that came out this week. I originally had like 8 scheduled for this episode, but for the sake of time, I'm going to be covering a few of them next week, like Brightburn and Dark Phoenix. But starting out today's episode, we are going to talk about Game of Thrones Season 8 trailer. Right off the bat, I have to shout out how cinematic this season looks. Not that the other seasons haven't had like taste to that effect, but this is full-on cinematic presentation. Which makes sense, since we've been told that even though the episode count is just 6 episodes, they're meant to feel like short films. The trailer doesn't really give much away other than a huge battle is about to happen, but it doesn't really have to. This trailer is not meant to sell you on the show and finally get you watching. This trailer is for me and every person who's seen every episode and has been dying to see this come to this. No lie, I'm actually going to be getting the HBO add-on for Hulu just for this. Not many shows can get me to do that because I may have gone legit with my content intake in the past few years, but I am frugal about it. April 14th, can't wait. I also cannot wait. And another thing I'm going to be shelling out for, Cobra Kai just dropped their trailer. That surprised the hell out of me. I did not know that cat was up here.
And isn't Cobra Kai from like G.I. Joe?
No, you're thinking of just Cobra. Cobra Kai is from The Karate Kid. I gotta get you watching these shows and movies. Hey, Sooner, we got a cat disrupting recording. I've been waiting with bated breath for this one. I'm still blown away by how good that first season was. It actually seems like the Cobra Kai dojo has some competition in town as Danny is establishing Miyagi-Do karate lessons, and for free at that. It looks like the good and bad guys are a little more clearly laid out in this one, which is logical, but one of the things I loved about that first season was the roller coaster it took us on with the characters and their motivations. Seems like Johnny is still rocking the Banquet brand, my beer of choice, particularly because of this show, and damn, that Bananarama cover by Carrie Kimmel, who I've actually never heard of, but that shit was good. I can't find that version of Cruel Summer anywhere, but if they're smart, they'll release that track on iTunes and make some money. Very excited to toss YouTube a couple of bucks April 24th for this one, as many are very excited for Shazam. A new trailer dropped for them. We see a lot more of Shazam's powers on display. Unfortunately, we also see a lot more of the jokes that may be in the film, and this, I keep coming back to this with so many trailers. We see too much. Marvel plays it smart. Half the time, they only need to give us stuff from like the first 20 minutes, and we're pumped. We're excited. We don't need much more. But where DC films are getting better, they're still desperate to get us in the seats, I think. And with this, I think we're getting way too many of the jokes. And it takes away from the overall effect the feel can have on you in that communal event of going to see a movie in theaters. And whose idea was it to use My Name Is in this trailer? I get it. Tons of adults are going to be lining up for this thing, but way too many kids with the ability to look this song up on YouTube are too. What are you doing? What is that? Still, you can find me in the theater April 5th for this one. A lot of cool stuff coming next month, guys. April across the board. Finally, we have a new Detective Pikachu trailer. We start off this one with a little more explanation as to why Detective Pikachu is connected to Tim, the main character played by Justice Smith. That is to say, the Pikachu has amnesia, and Tim's father's name and address were in the hat he woke up with. Already clever start to the movie. And I'm more sold on Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu than ever. He's so damn funny and adorable in this trailer alone. I can't imagine what the whole of the film is going to be like. I admire the restraint in these trailers because there's still a lot to unpack, but they didn't need to reveal Mewtwo at all. Had I seen that in the theaters, it could have blown my mind, and now it's just a box to be checked while I'm sitting in that seat. I'm also starting to get worried that there may be too many establishing shots in this. Like, ooh, see? Do you see this Pokemon in close enough to live action? Let's stay here for a moment, whether or not it has anything to do with the plot. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, moving on. It's just, I get that the world of Pokemon is crazy full of these awesome creatures, and I'm all for the way they're going to be heavily involved in the background and the story. I just don't need a collected 15 to 20 minutes of this movie to be staring at things because the filmmakers wanted us to know how cool it was. It didn't work for Star Trek the Motion Picture. It's not going to work here. That being said, I love this trailer, and I'm more sold than ever on the film. Gonna be rocking my Japanese Pikachu shirt on May 10th. Had to break the streak somewhere. And from there, we're moving on to news. Oh man, this next story requires a little history. First unveiled at the 1939 World's Fair, the iconic Red Viewmaster, a toy that utilizes film cells and the lighting of a room it's used in, became popular with families after the company entered a licensing deal with Disney in the 1950s, providing an immersive look at their favorite Disney films. After merging with Tyco in 1997, Mattel acquired the brand and has since expanded it to smartphone applications and virtual reality. Jump all the way to now, the year 2019, where Mattel and MGM are teaming up on a Viewmaster film. Mattel head of film Robbie Brenner, which is a thing, I guess, he told The Hollywood Reporter, quote, "Since the 1940s, Viewmaster has inspired wonder and joy in children of all ages, creating huge opportunities for storytelling. MGM Pictures has tremendous expertise and a proven track record in capturing audiences' imagination through film, and we're proud to be partnering with them to bring another Mattel franchise to theaters. This marks another important milestone as we transform Mattel into an IP-driven, high-performing, toy company," end quote, except for at the end there where I kind of took liberties to fix my fucking mistake. What could this film even be? It is a hunk of plastic that you stick cardboard and film strips into, and you just click the thing and go and look at still images. Like, what could this possibly be? They have spoken a bit about, at the end there, about it being something like a VR type thing. Now, I've never heard of that. I have no idea what they're speaking to on that end, but with that in mind, I feel like maybe some sort of like, they have a Viewmaster app or something, and through some sort of magical means, our main characters get transported into a fantastical world with a bunch of IP attached to it. I mean, we're talking about, I guess, something owned by Disney, maybe? Or maybe Disney doesn't own Mattel anymore. I'm not really clear on that fact, but yeah, that is my best guess of what they could do with this. Otherwise, it's just 2 hours of us watching people go wow, oh, the Lion King, oh, Mulan. I mean, that was my experience with the toy in the 90s, so why not? No word on an intended production date, much less a release date, but fuck, we're going to have to be watching that one closely. You can expect updates on that story right here, because it is fucking ridiculous, and I love it. But something I love much more, in Disney Plus MCU news, in a new interview with Slash Film, Kevin Feige elaborated on his remarks about how involved the upcoming Disney Plus MCU shows will be with the movies. Quote, "It will be MCU proper. Sometimes it'll take place as Captain Marvel did in a time before current events. Sometimes it'll take place during. What I will say, whatever happens in those shows and with characters that have been in the films, they'll undergo transformations. Not Loki necessarily, but will undergo transformations in their series, and those transformations will be reflected in their next film appearances because we've been developing long-form narrative stories for Disney Plus at the same time time that we've been developing a post-Avengers Endgame MCU. We've been able to do something we've never done before, which is intertwine them from the start, from the plant. And I think this is amazing. Like they said, we're going to jump around, likely with the Loki series that has been confirmed. We're going to be taking place in the past because, honestly, I think the characters in Avengers Infinity War, spoilers if you haven't seen it, but you've had time, he's not coming back because I think all the legitimately killed characters like Loki and Gamora are just gone. We're not going to see them again. But series that are rumored like the Bucky Falcon team-up show, that one I feel like is going to be a battle for the shield. You know, who are we going to crown the new Captain America? Because we do know that Chris Evans his time is up. He may pop up in some iteration some other way as like flashbacks or something, because the Russo brothers did say that his time in the films is not over after Endgame, but I doubt we're going to see another full-blown Captain America film starring Chris Evans. So that's what that could be. Scarlet Witch and the Vision show that has also been rumored, that could be taking place in between Civil War and Infinity War, because there is a big gap that we don't see there where their romance comes to fruition. So there's a lot of possibilities with this. I'm so excited that they are clarifying that this is not going to be another Netflix MCU type thing where, yeah, we kind of nod at the movies and the movies affect what's going on in our show, but what we're doing here never affects the movies and they're never going to fucking reference us. That is just awesome that we are finally going to get some collaborative efforts between the films and the shows, although these shows are more than just your episodic seasonal things. They are mini runs. They are what is it they call these? Showlets. Let's call them showlets. From now on, I'm gonna call them showlets. They're called showlets. And speaking of bite-sized ways to do things, let's take a trip into the phone booth.
It's time for the news, the phone booth news.
VinnyWise, go get my phone so we can get this thing underway, guys. It's time for the phone booth news, where I try to give you the news faster than Deadpool can save the day, which gives me 3 minutes, 45 seconds, which we will be timing as soon as VinnyWise comes back with my phone. All right, so let's go ahead and boot that up. We'll have his finger on the button. Let me make sure I've got my script open here. Whatever you're ready.
And now.
In video game news, Funcom has announced an open-world multiplayer game based on Frank Hubert's Dune is gearing up for production and is partnering with Legendary to bring the game to PC and console. Nintendo announced remastered versions of Turok Dinosaur Hunter and its 1998 sequel Turok 2 Seeds of Evil will be coming to the Switch, with the first game available on March 18th for $19.99. Also coming to the Switch is Friday the 13th, the game Ultimate Slasher Switch Edition, which will include all previous released content and DLCs, but not the Kickstarter exclusive Savani Jason and exclusive clothing pack. The release is expected for this spring. In comics news, veteran Marvel artist Mike Deodato Jr. announced that he will be leaving Marvel Comics to dedicate himself to creator-owned comics after his upcoming run on Savage Avengers. The Hollywood Reporter revealed that there will be a 4-issue limited series based on Seth MacFarlane's hit sci-fi series, The Orville, coming this July from Dark Horse Comics. In TV news, live-action Shazam television series, which ran for 3 seasons on CBS from 1947 to 1976, is now available on the DC Universe streaming service. Speaking of the DCU streaming service and its shows, Titans has cast Joshua Orpin in the role of Connor Kent, aka Superboy, in Season 2. Arrow star Stephen Amell announced on Twitter, quote, "Playing Oliver Queen has been the greatest professional experience of my life, but you can't be a vigilante forever. Arrow will return for a final run of 10 episodes this fall. There is much to say. For now, I just want to say thank you," end quote. Disney Insider announced that a new series for the upcoming Disney Plus streaming service titled Secret Society of Second Born Royals. The show is centered around a teenage princess who is second in line for the throne. While at summer school, she finds out that she and other members of royalty attending the school actually have supernatural powers. In movie news, according to The Hollywood Reporter, Aquaman 2 will have a release date of December 16th, 2022. Sources tell Variety that Will Smith will not be returning to the role of Deadshot in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Disney revealed a poster for their upcoming Maleficent sequel, which includes the film's title, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. The film is expected to release October 18th of this year. According to Polygon, Disney CEO Bob Iger said that the entire Disney motion picture library, including all Star Wars, Marvel movies, and films released this year, starting with Captain Marvel, will be available on the Disney Plus streaming service, while post-launch releases will be on the platform within a year of their theatrical release. And that is the news. What do we got?
2 minutes.
Yeah!
52 seconds.
Did it. 2 minutes, 52 seconds on the books. I nailed it. What'd you guys like in there? Scoot up on the mic. Vin, make some room. We've got someone joining us here. We're going to call him the rare breed Jacob because he's a friend of Vinny's that I actually like. So go ahead and move up on the mic. You put your legs over there. What'd you guys like in there? What sounded interesting to you?
Friday the 13th.
That I knew you were going to be sold on that Friday the 13th game. Yes, we are getting it. Don't worry about that because I've been wanting to play it too. What about you, Jacob? Speak up a little bit. Come up on the mic.
I like the Friday the 13th game as well.
Nothing else really?
No, I liked the Captain Marvel part, how it's going to be on the Disney streaming app.
Yeah, I love that they're bringing all their movies, which is weird because a lot of their really, really old ones are really, really racist. So I wonder if they're actually going to bring out those films that they have refused to acknowledge in like decades recent. But yeah, that is pretty cool that we're going to get to watch the entire MCU on there, the entire Star Wars library.
Don't really like how they're not how Will Smith's not going to be Deathstroke.
I couldn't care less about that. I didn't really like Suicide Squad. In fact, when I was buying all those DCEU movies, I forgot to buy Suicide Squad. It wasn't a I don't want this movie decision. It was so bad that I decided to forget about it.
Yeah.
So I decided not to buy it. I mean, if you like it, that's cool, but
he doesn't need to be Deathstroke anymore. He's blue.
Not Deathstroke, Deadshot.
Deadshot.
There's a difference. I'm kind of bummed that Arrow's coming to an end, but it makes sense. It's been going for a while. There doesn't seem to be much more they could do with that character.
Wasn't it, like made 2013?
You can't
wasn't
talk to Jacob and expect them to hear you.
Wasn't it made like 2013, 14?
Oh no, it's been going, well, maybe. 2013, 2014 sounds kind of right. They're in season 7 and we're coming up on maybe 2012 maybe. I'd have to look it up. I don't know by heart, but yeah, I'm expecting him to die in Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is the next big show crossover they're going to have. All right, guys. Well, that is it for the phone booth news. And from there, we're going to do a little bit of catching up. I've actually run out of episodes of Letterkenny to watch on Hulu. So unfortunately, I am done catching up on that, patiently awaiting for the next season. Hulu figured out. Ronda Rousey really impressed me this past week. Still keeping strong with the wrestling, but Ronda Rousey has kind of been going downhill in my estimation. It felt like she was getting too comfortable, getting too lazy, because she was showing a lot of progression there, but then boom, this past Raw, she unloaded on Becky, and it looked like she was really beating the shit out of her. And so I don't know if that was a shoot, but man, I loved it. Saw Fighting with My Family, keeping with the wrestling motif going on here. It was okay if you're a wrestling fan. It was nice. I'm glad I saw it. If I catch it in a $5 bin, I'll probably spend some money on it. Would be kind of interested to see some of the behind the scenes stuff. But mostly, it was just all right. I'm glad I went and caught a $5 matinee, because here in our town, Tuesday, you can catch a movie for $5 no matter what time of day it is, and that's pretty cool. But, yeah, if I'd have spent more money on this, I don't know if I'd be as okay with it. But it's good. If you're a wrestling fan, like, especially if you know some of the stuff from that era, the Divas era, then you will enjoy this movie. And I gotta call out an episode of the Orville recently, rather a two-parter episode called Identity. This is where the Kalons attempt an invasion on Earth, and I guess pretty much every planet was their intention, but really they focus on Earth first. If you're not aware, Kylon is the planet Isaac, an AI, is from. But if you're not sure who I'm talking about there, then you obviously don't watch the show and you don't fucking have any idea what I'm talking about. But it was really cool. It really examined humanity. It really examined emotion. And wow, this is the first time I can't pinpoint any jokes that took place in this one. This was the most serious attempt at being a legitimate sci-fi show that this show has made, and it's gotten better and better and taken itself more seriously in the second season than in the first, and the first was fantastic. This is, I think, one of the best Star Trek shows I've ever seen, and it's not even a Star Trek show. It's a love letter to Star Trek. Now, from here, I want to turn it on over to the boys in blue, because they're both wearing blue, which you could obviously hear that at home. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. And if you have not seen Captain Marvel, from here, I suggest you go ahead and turn it off. This is like the last thing in the show anyways. So, spoiler warning, unless you want to hear like a bunch of stuff at the end where we talk about social media, ours specifically, then, I don't know. Jump ahead a little bit, but if that doesn't interest you, then now's the time to get out. But guys, we saw Captain Marvel last night. I'm gonna hand this over to you. Okay. So, all right, guys, tell us what you thought about Captain Marvel.
Really liked it. I really liked the very beginning, like with the Marvel where it's Stanley. It's just all Stanley. I really loved it. Showed like the cameos. I'm pretty sure behind the scenes of movies. But I love those. I love how it shows how Nick Fury loses his eyes from Goose the cat that basically just eats people. How Captain Marvel starts like glowing at the end. How she finds out. I forget.
It's where she realizes that the power was within her the whole time. After she realizes that she got her powers, how she got her powers, she realizes that it wasn't given to her by them, and she could just unleash them.
Yeah, and I still like seeing the young Nick Fury. I like that part. And the ending, just the after the credits, the post-credits.
You gotta speak up and you gotta speak into the
Okay.
I liked how they had Black Widow, Falcon, Captain America, the device that Captain Marvel gives Nick Fury, the modified pager, how it turns off, and Black Widow, she just wants to know who it is. Boom! Captain Marvel. One, know where Nick Fury is. And then the other ones is just Goose the cat.
Yeah, talk a bit about Goose the cat. Sure.
Really liked it. My brother liked it.
Oh, yeah. Nums was having a fit of laughter with that one.
Yeah.
He was laughing randomly.
He was doing that too, but
Yeah.
the cat I think was legitimate laughter.
Yeah.
I liked how Nick Fury thought he was gonna attack the 1-2 Kree.
Yeah.
I like those parts. Anyways, Jacob, where do you want?
Deep thoughts about the movie.
Deep thoughts.
I thought,
It's okay.
okay. I feel like they could have showed Captain Marvel's powers more than they did.
Well, you gotta think, the point of doing it that way was to give, like, a progression. Like, she can't be that overpowered right from the beginning, because then she just tears through all the challenges. There's no personal growth. There's no, a challenge to overcome. She's just stupid powerful. She's gonna kill everyone. So now that she's this crazy powerful, she can stand toe-to-toe with Thanos. So it was about giving her a story arc, which was gaining that power and deserving that power that she's gonna need to fight Thanos.
I don't know why they did not have this, but the Star Wars. Like, why not the Star Wars?
Yeah, you're still in my opinion there a little bit. But
Yes,
sure, yeah.
but like when they're having the spaceship battle, I was like, really making me think of Star Wars. And they probably were trying to make you think of Star Wars. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
But the problem with them not having Star Wars in the film is that in the comics, Carol Danvers is a big Star Wars fan. She loves that stuff. And the cat's name in the comics is Chewie, not Goose. So, like, they really removed every bit of Star Wars element from this, which blows my mind because they own it. They're allowed to use it. So, I don't know.
Maybe Endgame, if Captain Marvel and Spider-Man are talking, they're probably going to talk about Star Wars, because Spider-Man talks about Star Wars.
I didn't even think of that. Thank you. Yeah, Star Wars is prominent in Spider-Man Homecoming and
Civil War.
Civil War, yeah. So, what the hell? I don't know. That's pretty crazy. All right, anything else you guys want to say? Final thoughts on the movie, like a 1 to 10. Where are you guys sitting?
With the movie, I'm giving it an 8.
Nice.
I'm gonna go with an 8 as well.
In this, I was just looking on Google, and I saw, and people were questioning about Stan Lee's cameo, what it was going to be like, and it's just him. He has, what is it?
It was Mallrats script,
Mallrats.
which is just fucking beautiful. And Kevin Smith, who wrote that film, he was posting on his social media, I think it was today, a picture of him, like, obviously distraught. He'd been crying and stuff because he and Stan Lee had a very close relationship. And to see that, and he didn't know that was going to be in the movie. So, like, it was just beautiful for him. Really, really, really cool. Like, that makes me torn between his in-movie cameo and the tribute at the beginning. Both are now sitting on equal standing for me. I don't know how to feel about it. But, yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Okay.
No, I'm all in.
All right, well, let's take this puppy out. So I think because we gave Vin the Human a shot at taking the episode out on the last episode, only fair that we give him another shot this time, but let's tag team it this time. We'll try and do some communicative energy here, okay? We'll tit for tat. I'll take one part, you take the next. I'll take the next part, you take the next. You feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, like this episode if you liked it. Subscribe if you love it.
You're checking this out somewhere while here. Why not like, comment, share, and hit that bell on YouTube if you want to know when... Wait, hold up.
I moved it on you. I'm sorry. You got to be able to move with it, though.
And hit the bell on YouTube if you want to know when the newest episodes are up.
Like our Nerd News page, Sort of My Comics on Facebook, and follow and Sort of My podcast on Instagram. Oh, I fucked it up this time.
Check out Subject to Change Entertainment on Facebook and Twitter.
And all of our personal social media is down in the description below. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human.
My name is VinnyWise.
Vinny Herman.
My name is Jacob.
Riveting.
I'm gonna call him the Lone Wanderer.
And cue that awkward outro music.